And I did kind of want to focus in on the Johan Rojas talk about center field and stuff. And we were kind of wondering what would he need to do in order to not make it north with the Phillies. And I would say, Christian, we might be seeing it.
We might be.
Because he really has not, even the contact that he's made has not been good contact. And there was something that Rob Thompson said that made me think he actually might need AAA. Like, he's working on these different swing changes, but he's saying something like his lower half isn't caught up yet to like his upper body. Like, there's some actually fundamental swing issues going on with Johan Rojas right now that is probably better worked out outside the glare of the major leagues, where you can actually not have to worry about, producing at the plate. And even if you're a 9-hole hitter, you don't want to be hitting 180. You know what I mean? Unless you're hitting 40 home runs like Kyle Schwarber is, and that's not in Johan Rojas's future. So when
Rojas is hitting 161 right now.
Yeah,
not even 180.
Schwarber hit a home run this spring.
No,
so,
it hasn't
I think they have the same number of home runs at the moment.
I'm just projecting, maybe I'm projecting a little bit into the season here. But I wonder if he's losing the center field job to start the season anyway, just simply because of the things that he needs to work on at the moment. He said Rob Thompson said he's still a work in progress. Rojas, I guess, through Sunday, coming into the day, Rojas was 5 for 31. But it's not like some of the other options are tearing it up either. Pache, after a hot start, is just 4 for 15. He's got the 2 home runs, but hasn't done a whole lot outside of that. David Dahl is actually playing pretty well. I think he might be starting to edge out Jake Cave for that left-handed bat on the bench. I know you guys talked about that on a recent episode. Dahl's got an 886 OPS and 2 homers. Cave is a 647 coming into Monday's game. And you have Whit Merrifield. You signed him for a reason. And I wonder right now, Liz, are the Phillies a stronger outfield with a starting 3 of Merrifield, Marsh, Castellanos, or with Marsh, Merrifield, Rojas, Marsh, and Castellanos?
What?
So
there's a lot of names.
You're playing Marsh and Whit Merrifield in left as a pseudo platoon. Mm-hmm. You're playing Rojas and Marsh in center. So again, like when Rojas plays, Marsh moves to left. When Marsh plays center, Merrifield plays left, and Castellanos in right field. So it's kind of like you got a platoon there, but you're keeping Rojas in the mix for his defense for the most part. Or do you send Rojas to AAA and just go Merrifield, Marsh, Castellanos to start the season at this point right now?
I think they'd be stronger with just no platoons. Merrifield, Marsh, Castellanos. I think Rojas has been really focused on winning a job, and I love that for him. And for some guys, that motivates them, and it's certainly motivating him, but I don't know if it's motivating him in the right way, because it seems like he's having some trouble. And I think you're right, like having him away from the glare, away from the pressure of having to win a job while playing in front of fans. I think he just needs some time. He just needs some time with less pressure, I think he would say, like, I got all this experience with the Phillies last year. And, like, you didn't really get all that much. It's a long season in the majors, man.
Yeah, and Justin, getting sent down to start the season, I mean, they certainly will want to bring him up as quickly as he's able to come up. But having Whit Merrifield allows you the opportunity to send him down to kind of get his lower half lined up with his top half. And I guess the only question I would have is, would it be better for him to stay in the majors and work with Kevin Long, or to go down to the minors and work with the minor league coaches? At least now it feels like the minors and the majors guys are at least speaking the same language, whereas like 3 years ago, I don't know that would have been the case.
Sure. I think that that's what this time is for. He's getting a lot of the big league time that he was slotted to get. And the way this was set up for us, and as our understanding has been, the Phillies were like, hey, you have a job if you can win it. And he was like, great. And he spent all winter, on the Dominican League working on his hitting, and then came up, and yeah, it hasn't been great. So you're kind of missing that you got to win it part of getting the job. And he hasn't done that. I don't know. My assumption is that the Phillies really wanted him to win it. They were going to give him everything he needed to win it, and obviously he would want to win the job too. But this really ultimately starts to feel like the more likely outcome, because based on what Liz is saying as well, you never know what's going to be in a guy's head in this position. He's like one of the only guys who's fighting for a position right now. He's playing with a bunch of guys who have their jobs lined up. So he may not. he may just not have it this spring. And going down to the minors is not the worst thing in the world. It seems like it was a pretty likely outcome to this situation. And that's the whole point of getting Merrifield, I thought, was that there's enough depth here now to cover that. You still have Pache, and you still have other options. And Marsh's knee is still supposed to be healed by opening day. So that was kind of the point. We have the luxury of enough coverage here that we can hope this guy works out. And if he doesn't, it's not a disaster.